Hi folks, Bushy here. This season we've introduced a brand new lure to the Squidgy stable. We call it the flick bait, and it imitates a wounded bait fish better than just about anything else on the planet. These things are really lively and fish love them. If you come with us now, we'll show you how to catch a few fish on them. Yes, we hate this stuff. Well, it's not a bad little start. We've come along here to catch a few bream. Now, these little flick baits of ours, they'll catch just about anything that eats another fish. But the big test is actually bream. If you can catch bream on lures, you know it's a pretty good lure. So I've brought my good mate Chris Wright down here this morning, and we're going to see if we can show you how these lures work on a couple of decent bream. This one's a start. It's not the size we're after, but it's a good little start. After it, there it goes, it's huge. Oh man! Got him. Look at the size of that fish. Oh, flick bait's any good. Ooh, that's a monster variety. Ooh, this is exciting stuff, folks. We hate doing the Squidgy videos. That's a mammoth bream. Come on, fish, stay on there. Oh, please stay on there. Look at the size of that sucker. Yes! Oh boy. Oops. That right. Now I'll give you a look at this fish, folks. There's a bit of yahooing going on here, but I can show you why. If you're a bit of a bream fisherman, you'll know why we're excited about that. That is one mammoth big black bream, and you can have a look in the mouth there. You can see that little 85mm flick bait. So we're excited for a couple of reasons. We love catching big fish, and we love showing you how really good the flick baits are. Well done, Righty.
No worries, thanks, mate.
You can leave now. It's caught too big a fish. Okay, we'll let him go to fight another day because these are really old fish. And we love you using our flick baits. We hope you catch a lot of fish, but we'd love you to release some of the big ones. This might be a good time to show you how to rig one of our jig heads onto these little flick baits. Now, nothing could be simpler. It's very simple, but you have to get it right. It's a pretty sexy shape on these lures, and it's important that they're on nice and straight on that jig head so they work properly. So just hold the front of the lure like that, grab your little jig head, and it doesn't matter whether it's a lead-headed jig or these little resin heads, it's exactly the same to rig the lure. We just go right into the front of the lure and make sure it's nice and straight, come out of his back and just snug him up to that head. And if he's nice and straight like that, straight on, that's going to work beautifully in the water. So that's all you've got to do. Simple as that. Now I can throw it back in the water and I'll catch another fish. A lot of fun. Nice quick bait. Going to be, I've certainly never caught so many fish on a lure. Not a huge fish, but still a quality fish. That's good fish. You got the 85mm one?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been using the little one, 70mm. I like the 70mm one a lot of the time. If the fish are a little bit timid, they can just suck that smaller lure in. But I would say that the 85 on big bream, and a lot of other species as well, of course, it just makes that little bit more kick and flash in the water, and it's really good even for bream as well if they're big bream. And of course we've got the 110mm one as well, which you can catch barras, jacks, just about everything. These flick baits work really well with our finesse jig head system. You can use the resin heads if you want to fish high in the water column, or you can go to the lead heads if you want to get down in the water a little bit. This one's a 1.5 gram. You can go down maybe to 15 feet with that if you want to. This one here, it's a little fella, 0.5 of a gram. You can fish down to maybe a metre with that one. So all you have to do is mix and match, put the different lures on different jig heads, and you'll catch one hell of a lot of fish. And by the way, if you can see me glittering here with all this stuff on my face, it's not the gay disco. I've just been using too many flick baits. Honest. Yep. Come on, Righty, get the fish in. I'm trying to tell the people how you use the lure. Fair dinkum, it's hard to get good help. That's a nice bream, Righty.
Nice bream.
Lift it up. You don't need the net for that, baby. Here we go. There you go. There's Righty's fish. I'll talk about it for him. Okay, now I'll show you the important thing. I'll show you how to make one of those fish get on your line. Now, first we cast it out, and when it gets out there, I'll show you how to work it. We call these lures flick baits, the one we're showing you, because the way to fish them is let them get into the water, and then we just give the lure a couple of little flicks with the rod tip. Now, what that does is it makes the lure just dart. So you give it a couple of flicks with the rod tip, make it dart maybe 6 inches, or I don't know what it is in the newfangled measure, a couple 100 mils. Give it a bit of a jerk like that, let it sit, another couple of little flicks, let it sit. And what usually happens is when you give it those little flicks, it darts like a wounded fish, and as you give it a pause, that's when the big bream or whatever other species of fish will come up and actually suck that lure into its mouth. And when you're using these with the light heads, and you're throwing them in close to the bank, it's just a great way to catch fish. I mean, it's not hard to get excited about doing a video like this because it's just a real buzz. You throw a flick bait in there, give it those couple of flicks, watch a fish come out and eat it, and then strike. It doesn't get much better than that. So there you go. That's why they're flick baits. Just give them a couple of flicks and hang on.